is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings. The calendar has turned to December, and we're in the home stretch now as we're underway in Week 13. This is fielded at the goal line. Shrugs off another, and he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. And a glance here at their shifty mobile signal caller.
And what's a quarterback's best friend?
Balance?
I think you're right. I agree with you. You know, a lot of guys would say great receiver, right? A terrific offensive line. But I agree with you, balance, because if you can run the ball effectively, that just opens things up for guys who want to throw it and gives you easier passing lanes and easier coverages to read.
And they said balance will be a focus in this one.
Yeah, they don't want it all just heaped on his shoulders, I don't believe. I think they want to make sure they take some of the pressure off.
And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it. To throw on third down. Sanders. It's caught. Smith. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
To throw from his end zone. Day. He's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored. You give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. 99 yards as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. An ideal start for them, really. You force the punt, and then you go down and score.
And you've got to see a fist pump on the sideline from the head coach, don't you? Because he's turned into his bench, and he's telling his team, this is how we prepare. Force the punt, go downfield and score. I told you guys, it's just like a boxer in the gym preparing for the fight. Now we get to turn it all loose.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out will cost him about 5 yards as he'll get this only back to the 20. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
2nd and 13. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that.
And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line.
You've called plenty of games in your career. Do you believe in momentum, my man?
I do, and I think we're seeing it right here.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. The run that he's been on. How about that? 3 sacks in a game a week ago, and another one right here. Oh, he's feeling it in a big way.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Throwing it on 1st down. Day. Looking left sideline. it's complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. On that catch, he's already eclipsed 100 yards here in the first quarter. Charles, he's on pace for over 400.
And playing with great confidence, isn't he? I think he probably had it coming into the game, and now that he's really come...
And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. On 2nd down, Cook.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. On 1st and 10, Day steps away to his left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him sack number 14 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15. Flush to his right. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Throwing on 3rd and long. Day. That'll be caught. It's Hester. And he's going to be brought down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. On 1st down, Day. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback when he delivers the ball.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. From the gun, Day. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Daniil Hunter, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. And the pressure gets to him again. Daniil Hunter and the Vikings, they have the football now in excellent field position. The partner, I'm not really sure what in the world they were thinking on 4th and long there at this stage in the game, but you think social media may be firing up a little bit right now?
Oh, the coach is trending right now. Right? There's no doubt about it. People are wondering what that decision was. But it takes me back to a number of years ago. A very successful coach in the league had told himself before a playoff game he was going to be aggressive. No matter what, he's going to be aggressive. And it ran his team into some real problems early, and they got upset in that playoff game. Let's see if this team can recover.
Well, that's aggressive in capital letters with glitter, 7 underscore. I mean, that's the definition of aggressive.
Yeah.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
They can't stop us, baby. Every time, it's a sack. Come on.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. And his kick here is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
They'll run on 1st down. McFarland weaving through traffic, and now he's free. Touchdown, Detroit. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. Not a whole lot to recap on that drive. Just one play, 75 yards to the house.
Yeah, it's a long way to go. And remember, rarely is it a straight line 75 yards, too. Got to have a little extra in there. So whatever the final number is, a well-deserved seat on the bench, a little oxygen if he wants it as well.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now we move our focus to Stephon Diggs. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Looking to throw. Sanders. And Diggs has it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. The Vikings on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. He'll return it from the 6. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Lions are going to take over with a long field ahead and a 1st and 10. Out comes this field general once more, leading his offense back onto the field. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence, does a great deal for your team, gives them a lead, and they're feeling really good about how they're playing. I think he expects to throw at least another one.
I was going to say, now he wants the first-half hat trick, doesn't he?
Oh, without a doubt. Go ahead and throw them on the field, folks. He wants that type of...
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he's going to score. It's a Viking touchdown. Yes, the old tip drill works to perfection there.
You're bringing back great memories. Used to love that drill. And a lot of times in practice, you work on not just one tip, but multiple tips, just in case the ball stays in the air for a while. Have an awareness and the ability to go up and grab it, and then you want to get some blocking support and end up in the opposite end zone.
In that tip drill, what do you yell?
For us, it was Oski. Okay, Oski was an interception. Different teams have different ways of doing it. I've heard bingo, jackpot. The worst I ever heard, though, was Frankenstein. You don't want it to be a three-syllable word. Yeah. You want to get it right down and go. Oski is really the preferred word.
Oski. Escaping the pressure right. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
I think that interception happened for two reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. There's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. To throw is Sanders. To throw again. And this one complete to Smith. And he maybe makes it back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. That one good for the completion percentage, but no gain. It'll be 3rd down. Here's Sanders to throw on 3rd down. And incomplete. They tried to drop it off, but he couldn't hold on. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously, one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the lead trimmed down to 8 as here comes the kickoff, and it's away. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Looking left side, and it's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A gain there of 21 yards. This quarterback now at 200 yards already in this first half, and he's not done yet. 1st and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Daniil Hunter in there to take him down on what will take us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. I will remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. The throw over the middle taken in. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. Throwing on 3rd and long. Day. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked up by Mike Hughes. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in December, right? It is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake, after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Vikings in the hurry up. They're hustling up to the line. Back to throw. Sanders. He's got Smith here. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a before halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Sanders now from the gun, he'll throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. The Vikings send out their punter. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And this one hits at the 1, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the second quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respect.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. An 80-yard touchdown. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. One play, 80 yards. Pretty easy drive to recap.
It certainly is, but not so easy to execute. Starting on your own 20, you want something to kickstart your drive and get it off to a nice start. They went for the whole thing and got it. That's a great way to send a message to the opposing team.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking to throw. Sanders. The Vikings going to use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4, Mike 5-4.
2nd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Now Sanders throwing on 3rd and long. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. The Vikings send out their punter as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Taking it about the 16. So we reach halftime. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. The Lions in the lead, and they're going to get the football first as well as the second half is underway. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. And it was somewhat of a strange first half. He threw 3 interceptions, yet you look at the scoreboard, they've got the lead.
So you know what I think he did at the half? He stood up in front of the team, especially in front of the defense, and said, thank you. Appreciate what you've done. You guys have picked me up in a big way. And guess what? I'm going to get back to being who I am, which is pretty darn good. Let's go play the second half.
Here's a run on 1st down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. A tale of 2 extremes. First carry, he went for a bundle. His second goes backward.
And how many times have we seen that happen? Because you get that big carry, and you come back and you're all fired up, and sometimes you force a run a little bit, right? Trying to break off that big carry again. And instead, it works opposite.
On 3rd down, Day. That'll be caught by Rice. And out across midfield down to the 45. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 45-yard line. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. They'll try the left side. McFarland, he's got the 1st down here inside the 30. And down to the 19-yard line. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards. One thing that's great about watching him run, Charles, he doesn't hesitate. He got to the left side of his O-line and just went.
So there's 2 ways to look at that. One, just absolutely unconcerned, just takes off and goes. But more the latter, I think, which is he has absolute confidence in the guys in front of him, the guys doing the blocking for him. He just takes it and goes with abandon.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. On 3rd and 2, Day. And he's going to be dropped. Back at the 15-yard line.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
On 4th down, Day. And my goodness, this is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning.
And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
On 1st down, McFarland. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. That one good for 33 and a 1st.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. This quarterback now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Daniil Hunter in there for the sack, and he's closing in on the all-time record. That's number 19 on the year. Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Operating from the gun, Day. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Daniil Hunter, it's his 20th sack of the season as he continues what could be a record-setting campaign. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And the Vikings defense is going to get the football back. Trying to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Sanders looking to throw on 2nd down. Throwing left side, it's complete. And finally, he goes out of bounds right at the 35-yard line. It's a big one there for the Vikings. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. And, boy, this defense, again, really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking and some.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another third down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is. You know that they were thinking second half comeback here. That's a big miss if they want to have a chance at that comeback.
A very big miss because time is becoming a real factor now, and they're 3 scores down.
Past the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. A big play there for Detroit. 44 yards. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
2nd and 5. To the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete. Right there on the coverage to knock that ball away was Mike Hughes. A big play to start the drive got him in this position, but this defense has held firm since, and now it's 3rd and goal. Back to throw. Day. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. A 5-yard touchdown. And the Lions are able to extend their lead. No surprise there, 3rd and goal down here. That's where they're going to look for their tight end.
Yeah, you want that big guy running his routes because it doesn't matter who they cover him with. If it's another big guy, he might use his bulk against him. If it's a shorter defender, might go over the top. Either way, you tend to find a little bit of a mismatch in that area.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt just
nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. A throw on the quick slant, going to be complete. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
If he's their best threat on offense, use your #1 cover guy on defense. It doesn't matter about size.
They have had him locked up. That just his first catch of the game. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Well, at this stage of the game in the second half, down 3 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to push.
And let's face it, with this deficit, if they give up another score here after they didn't get it, does it really matter?
Right.
It really doesn't. They had to go and try and make something happen if they had any chance of winning this game.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
2 yards on the play. First down, Detroit.
They'll run on first down. McFarland. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Call it a gain of 5 that time, and they'll be left with a 3rd and about 4. From the gun on third down. Day. And that is caught. Touchdown, Detroit. A 5-yard touchdown as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
There's no doubt in my mind.
Do you hear that? Do you hear the...
It's not scales, right? I don't hear scales. Do I actually hear a tune being warbled?
I think the fat lady's humming.
Yeah, she's doing more than humming. She's belting it out right now.
Going. She's full bore.
Yeah, this thing is flat out finished.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. And last time out, went for it on fourth down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on fourth down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
That right now, that's a defeated team out there. I think you can see it totally in their body language.
Hands on hips, heads low. It's just been a struggle from the start.
Yeah, this team has been thoroughly beaten right from the word go.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Stephon Diggs. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Stephon Diggs. 78 yards. And the Vikings are able to close the gap just... bit. Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is down to 24. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And the Lions are able to cover this one up. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. All told, it's an even 30 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. From back at the 4, here's second and goal. They'll try the left side. McFarland, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Well, they need to reverse the trend. The last two plays have gone backwards. Now it's third and goal. Now a give, right side. McFarland, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only able to pick up a yard, and that's going to leave him with a long fourth and goal. On fourth down, Day. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. And for them, this train, it just keeps rolling, doesn't it? Well on their way to yet another victory.
Yeah, it's almost a runaway, isn't it? And you just wonder how anyone could stop this. They got full momentum going, full confidence going. But it's not just their own confidence that is leading them. It's the lack of confidence against their opponents now because they see them coming and think, we've got no shot to beat this team.
That time, a 6-play drive. And the end result, a Detroit touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as a